We're back! God damn it.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Sims Bustin' Out. This time I'm going in to play as the Weeaboo family once again, getting my waifu ready for marriage. I know, very, very good stuff here, just bone apple the teeth, am I right? Haha, yeah. Okay, so last time we maxed out the cooking skill for both the sister and... Okay, perfect. For both Onee-san and waifu. Now they're sleeping away. Dream, dream, dream. And check that out. Funny Onee-san is so much farther ahead because she's actually the least important one to level up. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that, but it doesn't matter if she's fully leveled up because she's staying in this house forever, as far as I know. And maybe I'll do something with her. Depends, really. If you guys want to see me do like a little spin-off series starring Onee-san, leave a comment and tell me that you would like to see that. Because if you will, I will make it happen. Don't have any doubts. I will definitely make sure that can be arranged. Okay. But, yeah. Waifu here is going to be intertwined into the main series. Henry will have to do his marriage shenanigans later, though. So, we won't get to see his wife until he does his own individual plays series on this very same topic. Which, who knows when that will take place, honestly. Could be very soon, could be not very long at all. Or it could be a long time, I guess. Be the best way to say it. So, this house is actually not the most elaborate house I've ever made. I'll load up my memory card with the most elaborate house I've ever made in free play, probably near the end of all of this, just so you guys can kind of see what it actually is. Because it's pretty ridiculous. And I think it's something you will want to see. Where's the maid? Why hasn't she come? Oh, make sure she's still hired. Okay, she is. Good. And the sisters have finished using the bathroom. And now they should watch TV together. So it's just going to be another average day here, as I'm trying to train them both through Mech all the way. Unfortunately, not that much has happened. That being said, I do go back to school in about 2 weeks, so I'm trying to get a lot of stuff filmed before that date happens. Because once that date happens, my production is going to be tricky, to say the least. Because I'll have to somehow work around my school schedule, which I did in the past, so it's not like it's going to be impossible to accommodate or anything. But it's just going to be a little annoying, you know, having to deal with, like, you know, having to go to school and everything, rather than just getting time to make episodes like I have right now. What? Are you... Oh, you're studying cooking! Stop that! I clicked the wrong thing. My bad. Alright. But anyways, the exciting thing about going back to school this year, though, is Henry, my brother, is actually going with me. We're both going to be attending the same school this upcoming year, which is pretty cool. At least I think so. You may or may not think so, but, you know. So, I'll be able to kind of better keep track of him, because if you notice, his uploads are much more erratic than mine. I like to take a week off every time a series of mine ends before I start the next one. You know, just kind of to give me a little bit of a buffer, so I have time to queue up some episodes and kind of make sure it's what I want to go with, and, you know, things like that. Henry, though, he has this weird thing where he, like, refuses to work on an episode until, like, right before it's supposed to go out. I don't understand why he does that, but he does, and sometimes he either misses the mark by a few hours and it ends up being uploaded the next day, or, you know, there's tons of reasons why. But also, that being said, he's getting a new laptop this weekend, because we're going to, well, I say this weekend, but by the time this comes out, it will have been last weekend. But we're going to Vegas, and we're going to visit my grandparents, and he's going to get a new laptop. So that's pretty cool. Oh, she needs to sleep, okay. I couldn't tell if she was just doing that, or if she actually needed to sleep. Lol. Okay, let's go to sleep. Oh yeah, some of the phone calls in this game were, like, kind of creepy. The drop-off has been made. You have been warned. Like, what is that supposed to mean, bro? That's kind of scary. Ugh, man. Wait, I like these nice big houses. I wish this main room had a bit more stuff to it, but I was kind of trying to make it quickly before I lost too many of you to boredom. The thing, though, I kind of wish I would have put a pool in here. But I had this nice backyard area in mind, and I'm like, yeah, let's just put the pool back there. You know, that'll work. Of course, I wasn't thinking. I really should have put it in here. It really does work a lot better, I find, if you put the pool in the house. At least for some things, I should say, it works a lot better to do it that way. Naturally, you probably don't want to do that if... No, it's not going to be an if. You probably don't want to do that. Yeah, you don't want to do that if your house is too small, so it totally is an if, okay. If your house is big enough to actually accommodate it, though, go for it. It's totally worth it. Totally, totally worth it. Okay, and now their daily routine starts again. Did the maid already leave for the day? No, I don't think she did, because there's still a water puddle. So she's probably still cleaning stuff out. Which, hey, that's okay by me. But, yeah, this game, there are a couple of weird things you need to watch out for when you're playing. Like, one thing you definitely want to be sure of is that you have all of the right equipment right away. Like, you don't want to be stuck in a situation where you need to build up skills and you're just unable to do so. Which is why when I normally do this setup, I have it so there's two people in the house, one person to go to work and make money, while the other one, you know, can just learn their skills. And that, as you can imagine, is really dang useful. Because even though the other person will need skills to get promoted throughout their job ranks, there's enough time, like enough free time, to where it doesn't really matter. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to change the way I'm doing things. Instead of that, I'm going to have you play chess. Get that logic point. Get those logic points up, girl. Oh, look, the maid's still here. That's cool. So I'll have her get her creative points up. I'll have her get her logic points up. And that'll help raise their fun points, too. Haha. So our goal for this episode is basically just going to be getting them to 10 mech. With a side quest, I think... Wow, I'm sorry about all that popping. With the side quest being... make another friend, basically. I clicked cooking again because I'm a dumbass. Stop! Ugh. Hate when I do that. Okay. Study mechanical. Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, but there's like a few audio glitches in my game too. Like, sometimes when a bathtub empties, you'll hear a which normally only happens if you wake up your sim early or something. I don't know why that is. The only thing I can think of is maybe it's because my disc was scratched when I installed it to this PS2's hard drive. But that's like the only thing I can think of that would possibly explain it. I'm sure if you got a new copy, because I've seen new copies of this game, for the PS2 anyway, go for like less than $10. So don't be afraid to look for a new copy of the game if you want that. Otherwise, a used copy is fine too. There's nothing wrong with buying used, even if it's from GameStop. You know, as many problems as GameStop has, one thing I do actually really like about them is their used game trade-in system. How you can actually, you know, get stuff like that pretty easily. If you're going to go that route and get a used copy, though, make sure it's not like super scratched. Because I rented a copy before I owned it from Blockbuster, and it was scratched to where if you tried to leave Mom's house, it would just get frozen. And because of that, we were never able to unlock anything when we had that rented copy. Of course, that was at my friend's house, and I just stayed there for a day or two, so it didn't really matter. So, I mean, my whole warning might just be bogus, but just make sure it's not too scratched up. I guess that's just used game logic, though. Like, anybody, like, you're probably thinking, oh, anybody could think of that, you idiot. And yeah, that is true. Fair enough. Fair enough. Just, yeah. The other thing, too, if you want to play this game, make sure you have a couple hours at least dedicated at a time to playing it. Because if you're anything like me, once you start playing this game, you don't want to stop. You want to keep going. And you want to get stuff done. Because part of the nice thing about this game is, you know, you can set a goal for yourself and just play until you accomplish that goal. And the single player mode gives you the whole checklist of things to do, which is pretty cool. The multiplayer mode is like, well, I guess I shouldn't say really multiplayer mode as much as I should say the free play mode, which is what I'm in right now. Hors d'oeuvres lets you level up your cooking, by the way. But this open mode, where you can just do whatever, it does certainly... What's the word I'm looking for? It adds a little bit of depth, like, because it's so open-ended and you can just do anything you want, basically. It does add a little bit to the game that otherwise wasn't there before. You can... Like, one thing I'm definitely planning to do, whether or not I actually beat the game, like, whether or not I do the side story with Onee-san here, my plan is I'm going to build another house with 4 people. Like I'm going to make another family of 4 and replace one of the existing families. Just because I don't like the built-in families, basically. They're kind of crap, in my opinion. I mean, their basicness is kind of nice. They're just like this blank slate that you can get and do whatever you want with. Here, Onee-san, play the synthesizer for a little bit while you wait. So, in a way, that's kind of nice that they just give you this completely blank template of a family to do something with. But at the same time, they really do kind of suck. And I'd much rather have my own families living there, especially before they get unlocked in the multiplayer mode, or in the single player mode, because at some point in the single player mode we're going to unlock these free streets. So I want to make sure all of the Sims that are living there are custom before Henry gets to see them. So probably next episode I'm going to design those families. I'm not going to do a lot with them. I'm basically just going to build the families and give them a telephone and then switch back to this house immediately. But I'm going to be doing a couple of shall we say, interesting things with them. And I think they can switch today. I think it's going to be Waifu's turn to play the synth, and Waifu's turn to play chess, and Onee-san's turn to play the synth. The synthesizer, by the way, is one of my favorite things in the whole game. And if you're watching the main series, we're going to unlock that when we go to Goth Manor. So... Oh, I put him in the same bathroom. Whoops. Lol. But, yeah, we're gonna unlock that when we go to Goth Manor. And it's seriously, like, one of my favorite skill-building items in the game. It's really cool. Just listen to it. That's not part of the synth, that's just the level up song, but... Listen to that, it's so cool! Ah, I love it! I absolutely adore the synthesizer. Alright, how far are you? Pretty good ways up. Okay, we got a skill level. Let's study mechanical real quick. So, I guess there's not too much point in making friends with the neighbors we have right now, even though I do have one, which is Ginger. I'll probably call her at some point and be like, yo, what's up? But I want to trash those built-in families. I don't like their last names. I don't like the Sims that they are. Instead, the families that I'm going to put in there are... One of them is just going to be a complete joke, and you'll see what I mean when I get to the point where I'm actually building them. The other one is going to be a little more, I guess you could say, serious of a family. Oh, okay, hang on. I'm gonna cut right here, guys, and I'll be back in a minute. Sorry about that, guys. My parents just came back from their anniversary dinner that they were having together. Very nice, very romantic stuff. You know how that goes. Thinking back on it, I should have just cut like the video recording and audio recording and just started a new one here, but whatever, it's all going to be the same stream. Because this is going to be a short enough episode anyway, with Onee-san already being level 6 mech, it's only going to be like 4 more sim days. So I'm not particularly worried. Cooking is probably the second longest one. The longest one is without a doubt charisma. And actually, that's an interesting point. This next episode, like after this one's done, we're going to start splitting them on the tasks they're doing. Instead of both of them doing mech, or like they're doing right now, one of them is going to do one thing, one of them is going to do something else. So, if I was thinking right, I would have bought the better thing for charisma, but I didn't, because I'm stupid. Where's the mirror I bought? I swear I bought a mirror for charisma. Where is that? Did I forget a mirror? You have to buy a mirror. At least they're not expensive. But there's a very useful late game item for raising charisma that I always forget about because I try to black out anything in my memory associated with charisma because it sucks. So we're just going to have to use the mirror instead. So next episode, I'm going to have Onee-san here be doing charisma, while I'm going to have Waifu over here be doing body. And then they're going to be doing something else entirely. And you guys will just have to, you know, see what it is. Okay, looks like they are getting pretty tired. Onee-san, can you get your level before I make you go to bed? Alright, can you do it? Can she do it, guys? That's the question. Can she do it? Oh, is she gonna make it? Oh, I think she'll barely make it. Oh, yes, she made it. Okay, good. Now I can make her go change. Whew. Okay. Yeah, I don't like wasting their valuable awake time. Because as I'm sure you've noticed, they don't stay awake very long. So it's a constant grind of having to get them to do something and then get them to go to bed. And I remember when I was little playing this game, we didn't understand like how the whole mood system worked, so we didn't realize that in order to keep your Sims happy, like they have to have green on everything, and we didn't know how to raise green on some of it. Like obviously we knew eating to raise the food meter, and we knew, you know, shower is obvious, bed is obvious, toilet's obvious, but everything else we had no idea how to raise. Even the fun meter, because I guess we were stupid or something. That one should have been pretty obvious what it was, but, you know, we were kids. We were like, who needs the manual? We're not going to read the manual. Pfft, nobody reads the manual. So, like dumb kids, we didn't read the manual, and instead we... we just kind of did whatever. We'd build a house, our Sims would be really happy for like the first 2 or 3 days, and then it would just all go downhill. Everybody would be on all red. Now, I know the game so well that it's actually difficult for me to play a game and try to get them purposefully red. Like, that's actually hard. That's a difficult task to me now. Which, yeah, believe that or not. It's hard for me to play the game badly. I'm so good at it. I mean, I can play the Future Sims games pretty badly, not on purpose, like just in general, because those ones, they get so complicated as you go. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Sims 3, I really do, but like sometimes it's just way too complicated for its own good, and I get mixed up and confused about things, and I don't know what to do, you know? It's one of those kinds of situations. I'm just like, what do I do, lol? I don't know how to handle this. Alright. You don't need to put up your plate, dear. That's why we have a maid. Okay, toilet, play. But yeah, nowadays, I'm like, the only time I can really get red, the red doesn't last. It's only there for a little while. Also, I love how the room meter's so high, even in the bathrooms. Like, that's one of the best things about having a ton of money to start, or if you get to do the everything's free cheat, which I kept messing up on. But if you do either one of those things, you just get to start with all the best stuff, and it just improves your room meter so much, because the room meter is by far the thing that's the biggest pain to get to cooperate. Like, there are times when even I can't figure out why the room meter is at red. Like, I can't figure out why, no matter what you do, basically, your sim will always hate the bathroom. Like, why? Who on the Maxis development team hated bathrooms that much? You know, it just, it's kind of annoying. It's annoying and, like, inconsistent. Alright, and back to the old grind. Nice. Oh, likes Waifu 99. Onee-san 98. Yeah, Waifu likes Onee-san 98. Oh, that's not good. They better get together and become friendlier again. We gotta keep them on 100, yo. But yeah, another thing about this game, especially if you're doing it like this, where you're just getting all their skills in the beginning, this is a nice game to play to just kind of unwind and watch somebody else do something tedious for a while. It's very cathartic in a weird way like that. When you see the things your Sims are doing are actually paying off, you're like, you know what? Hard work will pay off for me too. If it pays off for these little virtual people, it will definitely pay off for me too. But also, it's just fun too to watch these kind of blank slates that you create in the beginning become something special because you put time into it. And you're just like, I'm proud of you guys. You did all this cool stuff. And then you remember, wait a minute, I was the one controlling you, so I did the cool stuff. The Sims is just really fun in a way that I can't even really explain. A lot of people don't get the attraction to The Sims. Like, my dad's always just like, you're pretty much just playing with virtual dolls, you know. And I'm like, maybe so, but if that's the case, then I don't care. I really don't care. I still think it's fun. If I am playing with dolls, then so be it. These virtual dolls are pretty fun. But it really is just like, it's just fun. I mean, it doesn't have to be like, a game for me doesn't have to be like a grand epic adventure. It just has to be something that I can get into and enjoy. And let me tell you, the amount of hours I have sunk into this game is probably pretty terrifying. Like, oh my gosh, I probably sank more hours in just The Sims Bustin' Out than I have in every other game that I've owned combined, probably. Like, this is, without a doubt, like, my most played game. For better or for worse. That is the case for me. And, you know, some people will judge me for that, and, you know, that's okay. But this is a game I really like. It's a game I very much enjoy. I enjoy playing it. I enjoy talking about it. I enjoy doing new kinds of runs. Piter Jack in the single-player mode is pretty close to how I usually play the single-player mode. I've been thinking about trying to speedrun this game, actually. Like, I want to see if I can kind of really dive into the mechanics and figure out some of the best ways to do things. I gotta find out more about the speedrunning scene for it, though. And see if that's something that is viable for me to do. Also, I think they're going to watch TV today. They need the interaction. And as it turns out, watching TV together boosts their interaction quite a bit, which is nice. It's a good little bonus. You may sacrifice the, you know, the skill building that you'd get otherwise, but you gang that instead, which is, you know, A-okay by me. And I like how Onee-san looks like a freaking female Terminator with Crocs. I think that's the funniest thing. Answer the phone, girl. You didn't answer the phone. You suck. Sorry, waifu, but you kind of suck. You didn't answer the phone. But yeah, the fact that she has Crocs is just hilarious. The last playthrough I did, I'm trying to remember what I made the love interest for Piter Jack. I think I made her like made him like a trailer trash wife, I'd like to say. I'm not sure if that's 100% right or not, but I think that's what I did, just because I thought it'd be funny. But this time I think it's funny to, like, give him a weeaboo, like a literal weeaboo girlfriend. It just seems appropriate in a weird way. Alright, come sit on the couch. And watch that TV, girl. Yeah, see, look, just them talking at breakfast raised their friendship meter that much. But also, they're both doing pretty low on fun, so this will help. Definitely help. And I like how the mate's just, like, running around doing chores while we're just like, yeah, TV time. Alright. That was a good TV session. Time for Mech. I wish there was a TV that awesome in real life. Like, look, like that thing just like expands out and you have 9 screens. Even on my desktop, the most screens I've ever had at a time was 3. And the main reason why I didn't expand it any further was I was out of physical desk room. And sure, I probably could have got the stands to install somewhere and sit up above the other monitors, but nah. all the other monitors I had were 4x3, so I would have had 2 widescreen and like 5 4x3 monitors. It would have been kind of weird. Definitely doable, but a little strange. What I really want to do is I want to get another 16:9 widescreen monitor, because I have two widescreen monitors on my desk right now, just kind of side by side. I want another one, and I want it to be turned 90 degrees and like on an adjustable arm that I put next to my desk. I want to use it for like reading web articles and typing Word documents, so I have the longer real estate to work with. I think it'd be really useful for that. But that might just be me. Ooh, Waifu's on level 8 already. Man, they're getting close to done with Mech pretty fast, which is nice. Oh, we missed bills before. That's... okay. Whoops. Not a big deal. Really, you went all the way out there to drop off those bills? Okay. Waifu's going to be behind on her studying for a day, but that's fine because she's paying bills, which we need to do. I like how they go the most obtuse way possible to do it. I think that's pretty funny. Alright. Where is she? Oh, she hasn't even picked up the other one yet. Yeah, see, this right here is the reason why I like to put a little desk thing next to the mailbox, so that way they don't go all the way to some stupid location just to drop off a piece of paper. It's really, really infuriating when they do that. 'Cause it's like, there's so many better places you could have dropped that off at. Why did you go there? Oh yeah, it's definitely time for them to go to sleep. Though, like, they are both very tired. Waifu, because she had to walk around the house. She walked around the house twice. And this house is pretty big. Like, this is a decent sized house. I'm sure it's bigger than most of our real life houses. That's another thing I like about The Sims, is you can make a house pretty much any way you want with any amount of like really fantastical different kinds of stuff. Like, look at this bathroom over here. I have the really huge bathtub, plus I also have a high-tech shower that like holds you up in the air and cleans you with science magic. That's so cool. There's nothing like that in the real world. Nothing at all. And that's just part of what this game's great, guys. Like really, this game is so good. I definitely recommend you get a chance, if you ever get a chance to own it and play it. I definitely recommend it. Even if you have to be naughty and emulate it, go for it, because this game is that good. Like, everybody should play it. At least if you are even remotely interested in what it offers as a game. Go for it, I should say. Because if you're not even, like, remotely interested in the core concept of The Sims, then you're probably not going to get much out of it. But if you're like me, and you love the core concept, or even if you're just kind of like a casual kind of fan, I guess to say, of The Sims. Like, if you're curious, or if you're diehard, or whatever else, and you haven't tried The Sims Bustin' out yet, go for it. You might like it. I actually kind of prefer it to a lot of the more open-ended versions of The Sims, which a lot of more hardcore fans would be like, that's blasphemy, how dare you say that? But, I mean, I get overwhelmed in a lot of those. Like, there's just too many options, especially if you start with all the expansion packs. If you start vanilla and work your way to the expansion packs, it's much less overwhelming to figure it all out. But even without all that, like, even if you just start with it all immediately, there are some times where it's just like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And then you just, end up beating yourself up because you can't figure it out. Oh, listen to that. That's so cool. I love listening to this thing. Like, it just makes the coolest sounds all the way through you leveling up to use it. We sound like we're spooky vampires. I love it. I love it. Alright. Go and study mechanical. And you, once you finish that... Actually, you better just go study mechanical. I did have you... Yeah, see, she made like that guy grunt noise, which she's not supposed to make. Which I can only assume that noise happens because... because my disc was scratched when I installed it. That's like the only assumption I can make, really. Let's watch the maid. This is one of my favorite things to do, is like watch the maid do her chores. While my other Sims are either off at work or, doing something. Was that the last thing she had to do? She's thinking about it. Nope, there's more she has to do. Alright, so she walks through the door. Look at that stride, though. This is one confident maid. She knows what she's doing. And she's doing it. Okay, she's coming in this room. Oh, she probably has to clean the shower. Watch how she cleans the shower. It's kind of... No? Oh, it's probably the toilet, then. Yeah, it's the toilet. Very accurate to how you clean a toilet in real life, by the way. If you've never cleaned before. I don't know why I'm telling you that. I'm sure most of you have cleaned a toilet before. Okay, so she's walking out. Nope, okay, she's cleaning the shower. Look how she cleans it. She just, like, kind of scrubs the surface, and then it's clean. Alright, where's she going? And by the way, this is why I don't usually play at this speed, because everything is so slow. It takes forever for anything to get done, especially in a huge house like this. Which is one definite argument for a smaller house size. So there are, some people who prefer having a smaller house with less in it, I guess. I prefer having a smaller house with more in it. I prefer having a larger house with less in it, especially if you know how the parties work, because as you've probably seen in the single player mode, people like to party in the bathroom for some reason. And yeah, it gets pretty awkward. Pretty awkward. I don't quite remember how bills are calculated in this game, though. I think it has to do with the total size of the property. Like, the bigger the house, the more bill you pay. Which could be another argument for the house, but I think it also has to do with what's in it. Like, if you have more expensive stuff, your bills are higher. Something like that. I don't quite remember how the formula for it worked. There was one point when I could just spout it off the top of my head and tell you what it was. Or at least what I thought it was, because I'll probably look it up later. I think, if anything, maybe my Sims Bustin' Out guidebook will have it. Which, that's something I've actually been into lately, is collecting those Prima strategy guides for games. I only have 3 right now, but I'm aiming to get more. I want to get some of the ones for old Pokemon games, especially Ruby and Sapphire. Because that's really what interested me to get it in the first place, was being a kid, I knew somebody who had the Ruby Sapphire one, and I was able to use it to get the Regis. Which, without that thing, there's no way I would have ever figured out how to get the Regis. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Like, do you think you would have ever figured out a secret like that without a guidebook of some sort? I know I wouldn't have. And this was kind of before the internet really happened. I mean, sure, the internet was around, but these were times, like for me and where I lived, my house didn't have high-speed internet until like 2013. Part of that was my dad thinking it was completely unnecessary, so why should we get it? And we had to pretty much convince him we needed it for school and things like that. And then he was finally like, fine, we'll get it. Shit, another burglar. What's he gonna steal this time? Swear to God, if he takes something else that's, you know, locked in the main game, I'm gonna be pissed. That fucker, he took the other... God damn it. You're too slow, police. I don't care about the money, I want the fish tank back. God damn it. He stole my fish tank, piece of shit. Alright, now I gotta get something else that's kind of valuable. Because the nice thing about having that fish tank there was it really helped hide how empty the room is. So now that that's gone, I'm gonna have to get something else to put there. Piece of shit thief. Stealing my fucking fish tank. Yeah, see, there's the fish tank. Locked. Oh, man. I guess I could get some china vases and put it back there. Yeah. Alright, let's just do that. No, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Bearskin rug! Oh yeah. Let's do this. Let's put this bearskin this bearskin rug back there. And we'll put this other piece of pottery over there. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that makes up for the stolen fish tank. I think that totals more room meter than the fish tank was, but the fish tank was so cool. I'm just so pissed he stole it. Like, how dare he steal my fish tank? It's still locked. And that's why the game took it, was because it was locked. And it's like, ha, he can't buy it back. Get wrecked. And I also completely lost my train of thought from before, so sorry if there's a notion that I never quite clear up. Because I completely forgot what it was I was saying before all that happened. Before I got pissed at that thief for stealing my stuff. Alright, Onee-san is going to eat her breakfast. Oh, there's something, there's a weird memory I hadn't thought about in a while. So I've worked at this summer camp for a few years, and you'd always meet these really interesting kids there. And one kid, like, for one of the things he had to like make a schedule to a camp out, basically. He had to plan the menu and say, like, we're doing this at this hour, and, you know, but just basically plan out a camp out, you know, easy stuff. He wanted to do it as minimally as possible. Like, to the point where he wouldn't even spell out the word breakfast all the way. Instead, he would list it as brekkie. B-R-E-K-K-Y. Brekkie. And it's not like he wasn't capable of doing it, because I watched him write an essay for a different thing he was doing. And it was like, really, kid, you're gonna laze out on this one and just, like, not even put an extra 4 words on the end of break, but you're gonna, like, I don't know, it was kind of annoying. And I mean, obviously, one of the worst parts of summer camp when I was a kid too was having to do all the paperwork for badges. Nobody wanted to do that. I just wanted to go and have fun. That's why I joined in the first place. It wasn't to just, you know, do paperwork all day. Alright, they're both on level 9, with Onee-san almost to level 10. Look how close that meter is. Look how close. I think after she finishes this, I'm going to have her play chess for a little while. Just to kind of get that out of the... No, I'm going to have her start on charisma, because charisma's a pain. And I want to get that done as quickly as possible. Hey, look at that, she's done. Alright, go practice charisma. In the meantime, you keep studying. When you get 2 levels of charisma, we'll go watch TV. Actually, no, we'll play your game console because it's right there. Nice. Charisma has started. So yeah, this is all charisma is. It's just you standing in front of a mirror. There's a tool that helps you do it much faster and much better, and it's a microphone, obviously. Like, a microphone and a mirror are the only two things in the game that can help you raise charisma. Unfortunately, you don't get the microphone until one of the last houses in the game, which sucks a lot. Like, a lot. Okay, go play your game console. You need the fun. She definitely needed the fun. Look at that. Yeah, this game console thing even has a couple of different games that they can play. I usually get that robot one. I usually get either that robot one or like this blue ball game, which I'll point out the blue ball game when it happens, but you know. Also, thank you guys for all the views we've been getting on the Sims videos. I don't know where all the views are coming from. Like, why we're, you know, getting a ton of them now that we're doing the Sims Bustin' Out, which, to me, always seemed like one of the most obscure Sims games. Like, I know very few people who know about this game, surprisingly. Which is weird because it's sold enough to get a greatest hits release, which is the version I own. So yeah, I don't know who bought all those copies of this game, but it doesn't seem to be particularly common for whatever reason. It's definitely, you know, a huge improvement over the original. But I think I've already said that quite a few times. And don't worry, I will play the original on this channel. I'm probably going to do that one without Henry, because unlike this one, there's no single-player multiplayer mode like we've been doing. Which, by the way, that's one of the coolest things about this game, am I right? Like, being able to play the single-player mode multiplayer. That's so cool. I wish games did more stuff like that. I wish new games were like that. I wish The Sims 4 was basically like this. It doesn't even have to have, like, you know, a concrete storyline for you to go through or anything. The Sims 1 did, but it was, you know, it was kind of like this storyline. Very unnecessary and forgettable, but, you know, it served the basic point of giving you a motivation to do things. Which, that's really all a plot in a game should do. I don't like the whole, you know, a game has to have better storylines than most movies that come out nowadays, or they're crap mentality. Like, it's a game. It's about the gameplay. It's about it being fun to control and do things in. It's not a movie. Like, the plot is only so important. And that's something else I really like about The Sims in general, is you make the plot. You decide what happens. It's all up to you. If you want to see a certain thing happen, you make a certain thing happen, which is, you know, pretty cool. On the polar opposite end of that, though, I also really like Sonic games, which are like 90% plot these days for some reason. Except for that Sonic Mania, which looks dope. Oh, I'm so sad I had to cancel my pre-order. Yeah, I had it pre-ordered when it was first announced, and I had to cancel that pre-order because I ran out of money. And I couldn't afford it, you know? It's sad, but that's how stuff goes. Nice, 3 logic. Bookshelf. Study Mech. We're going to be done with the bookshelf soon, guys. And when we're done with the bookshelf, we're going to be done with this episode, which is nice. And if you're wondering what we're going to do after all these guys are leveled up, I'm going to get Onee-san through all her career path. I'm going to make her do one certain type of job. She's going to carry it through all the way to the bitter end. And you guys are going to bear witness to that. It's going to be pretty cool. And the advantage to getting her to go all the way through her career path is if she gets to the highest, you know, career option, then it means she'll be self-sustainable. Well, I mean, they're already pretty much self-sustainable. Look at all that money, dude. Oh, hey, look, she's done. Cool. Alright, that is where we will leave off for now, guys. So thanks for watching. I hope that was enjoyable. Hope I didn't rant too much. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.